He's. I'll recap it when he gets back.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Cool.
What's up, Evan?
How's it going?
Good.
So, things are. So we've like Kirsten's not here, but I'll speed him up when he's back around again, since he's been working here with me. So I want to make sure that we continually have a direction and focus, with everything that we're doing, because the app takes off, which it probably will. There's lots of cool opportunities, and I'm not forcing you guys into future opportunities, but lots of cool things are going to happen. I want to make sure we're setting ourselves up in that direction now. And so I've been thinking a lot about this Kickstarter, because I'm putting all the ducks in a row for that. And there's the notion of becoming like a software as a service type startup, like a Team Treehouse type of thing. Everyone starts off with a website, and that's a very doable thing. And then we could easily even, I think, raise like $300,000 on Kickstarter. This is the ultimate learn to code solution. And lots of crazy startup things happen down that path. However, with that path, I don't. If that's the path that we were planning on taking, I don't feel like our mobile app in its current design, more or less, like of what it is necessarily going down that path. And because it's more self-contained, right? It's an app. There's coins. We're expecting purchases through that app, and I'm thinking if it was going to be like a full-on multi, you've got the web, mobile apps, it would really be just a full-on product, and the monetization probably is the biggest thing that have to be rethought out. But then, I think that's a more general, like huge startup type route. But then there's also this notion of kind of being an anti-pattern here, which I kind of like, and just building an iPhone app, an Android app, a Mac app, Apple TV app, Windows app. Totally forget the web, which is interesting and cool actually. And where we do the in-app purchases, but we just do it all in these apps, and we built this this ecosystem of apps that are all doing the same thing, which would be highly profitable. It wouldn't be like your standard startup where you get these investors and they want to completely strategize out how every piece of monetization goes into your app, and they're thinking about sellouts and things like that. We're literally designing this app to be very effective and to be effective at making money, but it's all based on apps, and it's really different from what the industry is doing for a startup. And anyway, those are just some ideas I've been having to my mind, and I want to make sure that the path that goes down, that we're kind of on the same page and are doing what we want to be doing and going in that direction. So that's what I was thinking. I just wanted to see what you guys thought. Any feedback you have, so we can keep moving forward in a good direction.
Jack, you want to go ahead and go first?
I've got a bad feedback loop. I'm a fan of the app.
Sorry, hold on. I think I hear Jack twice.
Let's see here. What do I do?
You're muted. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. And I don't want to be a cliche, but me being the old guy, the gamification stuff that we're doing in other apps and everything, that hasn't been something that has appealed to me. It's just not my thing. I'm more like on these games. I'm very interested in how they're made, but I've never been one to like want to go out and buy coins and things like that. So I've just been kind of letting you guys, show us where that's headed. I mean, I've downloaded plenty of them, and I've been playing with them and checking them out and seeing how they work and stuff like that. Um, so as far as that side goes, I'm going to kind of defer to you all because, I mean, I know that it's very successful. Where it's been implemented, it's just never been my thing. I'm honestly a fan of the apps and the Mac app and the Windows app and things like that. I don't know why. It's just kind of my preference. I would rather have a native app than, the web's kind of a one-size-fits-all thing. And, I mean, yeah, it's great because you can use it anywhere pretty much. But that's just, my preference is native. So I'll just kind of leave it at that right now. What do you think, Evan?
Yeah, I actually initially thought a lot of things. Oh, what's up, Pearson? Um, I initially thought a lot of things, and I did a quick analysis because I know, Mark, you've expressed that you're not a huge fan of subscription-based services for SaaS startups and whatnot, but I thought it was important to, I guess, get a landscape competitively because we are technically going to be competing with a lot of SaaS businesses. And so just first off, I thought I'd do like a quick breakdown. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term ARPU. I'm sorry, I'm looking at another screen right now, but ARPU is average revenue per user. So Clash of Clans ARPU is actually $1.31. And I thought that was super interesting, and they're kind of up there with the top dogs, obviously. So with that being said, we need to, if we were to implement coins, we'd be competing with Clash of Clans. Conversely, if we did like a SaaS model where we did like a $10 a month, do away with the coins completely. And have assuming the same user base, I did 1 million for each of these scenarios. We'd be tracking, if we tracked at a 1% conversion rate of visitors for $10 a month, we would hit the same top line revenue. So I think the landscape is definitely a little different. In the app world, I kind of like being the underdog and like being this anomaly statistic where everyone's like, wow, Clash of Clans was doing 131 ARPU and then DevSlopes came in and now doing 20. I like that as a soundbite. I think it's like really cool for us and for the world. But if we were to go that route, we'd be in that space, in that competitive landscape. Whereas in the SaaS model, we'd offer, a plethora of awesome videos, awesome content, $10 a month. We'd only need to make up a 1% conversion rate to break that competitive space with the coins model. And then obviously, if we were to double that, the standard like rate industry average is 2%. So if we double that, assuming 1 million users, we'd be averaging 200 grand a month. So I thought that was a really interesting, I guess, like analysis of the two. And I agree with you, Jack, that I like the idea of having everything native, and I think that's our kind of toehold in the market. You got Treehouse, Udemy, and there are all these web apps, and everyone, messes with them, but they haven't really, grab hold of like, their actual app in the App Store and having a native Mac app. So I think, I guess to sum it all up, I tend to gravitate towards having, like an iPhone, like native apps, and I like the challenge, and I think we can definitely do it with the coins. But I think it's important for us to understand what kind of playground we're in and like what challenges we'll be facing because they're different. But that was just my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's really good input. So I think we're a bit on the idea of mastering these apps, and what's cool is or what's cool is a lot of the competition out there, they have their SaaS service on the web, and then they make trashy little apps, because we have an app on the App Store, and it's always an afterthought. But we all know how much money people can spend on apps in the App Store. So my original thinking was, everyone out there is a subscription to learn something, and that's how we're making money. But on the App Store, we have a unique position because the subscription model's been around for 10 or 15. It's been like 15 years or something like that, and you bring people on. This is what happens. You bring people onto a subscription, they forget about it, and that by the way was one of the main reasons why subscriptions were invented. With the notion that people forget about it and they're just being charged regularly, and it doesn't necessarily promote continued action. Like I had a subscription to Pluralsight, and by the way, Pluralsight and all these guys who have subscription services, they've got they've made lots of money, have VC funding, like loads and loads, round tier 1, tier 2 funding, and and they're using these subscription models. But then you go in, like what was I just saying? Pluralsight. I'm on their platform, and I'm not doing anything except spending money. Like if I don't go into their app, they're charging me. If I am going to the app, they're charging me. Like there's no indication of my success or anything like that. It's just like, use us, pay us money for it, and if you don't use us, you're still going to pay us money. And anyway, I feel like subscription services. I feel like we can do the world a little better than that. Like, so if we didn't want to go coins route, I would almost even want to think of something else before doing a subscription service. What I really want to do is make the barrier for entry super low, because people make a lot of hard thoughts and contemplation before they click a button on a subscription. I mean, they really do. Think about this. When Apple released its Apple Music for free for 3 months, okay, you still have to sign up for a subscription right up front. It wasn't automatic. And so only a fraction of their user base did it. And then when the 3 months ended, and then a huge fraction actually canceled their subscriptions. And then the rest have it there. And I was just thinking, like, what a low percentage of your total user base to go on there, because these most people listen to music, they're probably buying it, but they still didn't feel, all the Apple users still didn't feel comfortable enough to go on a $9.99 month subscription. So I feel really good about doing the apps and making them amazing. I just this monetization thing, I don't know. The coins to me sounds good if we can master it. And this was more a conversation, I suppose, about like the future and Kickstarter, but it does leave the question, like, what is also going to have the best amount of revenue. So when you're talking about subscriptions, and if we got a smaller amount of people with a subscription service, the average dollar per user would probably would increase, but we wouldn't necessarily have achieved a goal of lowering the barrier for entry for new people to get into coding and things like that, because it's a subscription. What I think is it's a commitment. I think people go to those websites and they're like, I'm ready to learn to code, but what about everyone who's not ready there yet? Let's get them in and maybe get $1 out of them, before that point. I don't know.
No, absolutely. Sorry. I think also the beauty of the coins is that I was thinking about like how I would use it if the app was right in front of me, and the fact that you can earn coins and correlate specific time frames to like how much. Hold up, should I?
It's killing me.
Hello?
There you go.
Oh, okay. What was I saying? Coins. Well, oh yeah. So the idea that you could earn coins along the way, or earn something along the way. In my head, I thought it would be that's the most ideal, and I can't see that as much of a scenario without them. So for example, right, like if I'm going through and I notice like another course that I want to take, and it's $2, right? And I could either finish up this hour lesson or purchase this, course for $2, I then correlate, okay, so my time's worth at least, like $30 an hour. Of course, I'm going to spend $2 to complete that. If we were to do away with the coins, it's harder to draw that correlation, and all the user sees is, okay, so it's $2. I don't know if I feel like spending $2. Let's just, maybe let's see what's on YouTube, or let's see what's on Stack Overflow. So that's the beauty that I thought, would be with the coins, and I think we should hold to that somehow. I want to give a little more thought into, obviously, if there's another alternative to coins, but alludes to that same effect. But I don't think we should go straight into like, here's the courses, here's the prices, take your pick, so to speak.
Yeah, you want to leave like breadcrumbs along the way so people can stay invested in the platform.
Yeah, I also think when you have a point system, people feel a sense of, well, they feel like they're being rewarded for something. So you spent 300 coins, let's say, on a course, and then you complete that course, and you're like, okay, I completed 300 coins, then I can share something, and then if I just share this, I get another 300 coins, and that's super valuable for that course. So I think the way that we really make this go, I hate to use the word viral, but viral is rewarding people, and I don't see how you can reward someone with a subscription-based model. And I know we're not talking. I know you guys aren't trying to say use a subscription-based. I'm just saying, outside of coins, how are we going to reward someone? How often does someone get a coupon and then have to go in and manually enter it in? How often do they do that? We want to streamline this process for the user and make it as easy as possible, so they have to do the least amount of work for the most amount of benefit, right? So that the coin system works because of a few things. One, they're getting rewarded. It's easy to use. Two, they don't equate coins with money. And I think the third and really important one is that with coins, it's an easy transaction. You make it super simple, and they don't have to think about it.
I would agree.
I would too. I don't like the subscription model at all for this. Like I said, coins never have appealed to me in games, but it's more the game than the platform. I mean, as far as coins go, if I had run across dev slopes and it involved coins, I'd start all into coins right now. So.
Well, what's interesting, the great news is, like it or hate it, people born between 1980 and the year 2000, which we like to call millennials, that is our people who are spending 90% of the money on the App Store and everywhere else in the world and doing all this learning to code yourself. And so the good news is, I think what we are doing will be highly relevant to a majority of people who are actually spending money on App Stores. And so I feel like we're all in the right direction here. Then I feel like through our beta testing and our practicing here, we'll make it perfect. I was thinking also, so with this Kickstarter, if we go down this route, pitching it kind of like. By the way, I got a quote from a videographer. He wants $8,000, so we're not going to do that.
Oh man.
we're going to figure it out here. It'll be amazing though.
Evan's like, pay me the $8,000.
I was like, I'll fly over there and do it for like $3.
We'll make it amazing. And but anyway, I want to kind of pitch it like this then, like, if you ever wanted to build an app, if you ever want to build a website, or are you trying to get into the app development industry, and school is $90,000 for a CS degree without a guaranteed job, or you've got boot camps where they're going to give you the help that you need, and like the time, with the community and everything else, but it's $10,000 to $20,000, which is still a lot of money. And then on the flip side, you've got online schools where you can take courses and pay, $300, $200 a month and learn concepts, so you get no direction and no community and support. We're going to take the best of both those worlds, bring them into these apps for a very make it a very low or easy entry for anyone who's absolutely brand new. You're going to get a community. You're going to get all these different things. This is all part of the app, and we're revolutionizing the industry kind of thing. And so that's kind of the direction, the message that we're going to send in this Kickstarter. Then is that this app, which will be on iOS, Mac, Android, and we'll make a PC app, which would be fun. We've got a few people who are aching to write some C# code for us. We'll just build these apps that bring that whole world to you. And you know what? We may never even build a website. Maybe we will, but it's kind of an anti-pattern. But this whole thing with DevSlopes, I told myself when I was starting this, I was going to do something that was never done before. And this is a kind of a soapbox here, guys, but like for real, when I first got into coding, people made fun of me. I got my first job, I taught myself, and I had engineers making fun of me, like, why didn't you didn't even go to school? Like, and they were like laughing. You don't know what a Turing machine is? Because I had no idea what a Turing machine was at the time. So they made me. They actually forced me to go research Alan Turing and like his Turing machine and stuff. And like they were laughing at me, and it was a rough experience. And go fast forward 7 years. Here I am with DevSlopes, and I was like, screw this. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like, because you hear what Y Combinator and all these investors and all these other people say. They preach investor and business stuff to you all the time. And I said to myself, I'm going to do something that's never been done before. I'm going to do something that I want to do, which was make it fun, exciting, low entry, in a way that you really retain the knowledge, and you can do it all on your own at your own pace. When I was at my last company, the Coding Bootcamp, I never told you guys this, but I offered to do an online program for them just like this. They said, no, there's no money in online education anymore. That's what they told me. And then DevSlopes exploded, and so this is going to work. And so what I'm saying is the anti-pattern, not going to web first like everyone else is doing. I'm okay with that. I think doing what we're doing is unique and it's fun, and I like this direction. So this conversation was really good for me to figure out where we want to go with this. So
can I follow up on what Jack said too?
Yep.
I think the native Mac app should be a high priority.
I agree.
For one personal reason is whenever there is something that I want to use, I always go and look for a native app. And Jack, you might have said this, I can't remember, but I always look for a native app or wherever on the website because I want that experience because it's faster. You don't have to rely on the internet. You can do it anywhere at your own pace. You don't have to. One big reason is you don't have to worry about the internet failing. You can just do it offline or whatever. And so, and it feels more personal. I don't know. The web just seems. I don't know. Having a native Mac app makes it feel like.
Yeah, I think we should. So I think that's what we should do with the Kickstarter. Well, I haven't figured out the goal just yet, but I'm thinking, we're gonna aim for around 25,000 with the goal of hopefully getting around 100,000. And what I want to do is, upon successful funding, we'll immediately start the Apple TV app, and then as well as the Mac app at the same time. And we'll get those things going. And then if it goes even further, then we can think about Android as well as a PC app. And by the way, I've been playing with my Surface Book, and I will say there are some cool Windows 10 universal apps. It would be fun to do some C# programming. I'm not gonna lie. It'd be fun to build an app for that. So
I'll help out on that.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I'm feeling good. What do you guys? Anything you have to say?
My main thing is, and you kind of summed it up when you were talking earlier. I don't want it to feel like this is a web platform and all these apps are just an afterthought. The apps ought to be front and center, and maybe one of these days we'll do a web component to it, but that's not the main focus. The main focus is mobile.
I like it.
100%. 100% true.
There's probably some Silicon Valley experts like cringing at us right now, huh?
I can hear him down the street, but no, for sure. I think that's exactly the way to go. I think it's like super unique, fun, and I've always been I've always loved being like a contrarian underdog, so it's perfect.
Wait, a website for this or a web app? No.
Sorry, what's that? I couldn't hear you.
No, I was just making fun of because people were always like, well, you should go mobile first. And it's like, well, they're not mobile first. It's just a website that's
Yeah.
compatible with your mobile because it shrinks down. And I don't know, being mobile first actually means creating an application for the mobile device.
Yeah, and the coins honestly actually opens up a lot of doors from even away from courses where people can, whether it's avatars or other fun things people like to do in apps. You know, there's all kinds of things. Like for instance, what if I'm looking for a job? Let's say eventually in the future, we've now got this cool, whatever you want to call it, leaderboard system where people who have spent the most time in hours, you know, they can actually press a button, spend 500 coins to be featured for 5 days as they're looking for a job. So all the recruiters that I'm bringing to the platform can see this as one of the top candidates to hire for a job. And you know, there's so many uses for coins. You know, and then of course I'll be charging the recruiters to have access to these people, and or however we manage. So you know, I think the minute we do monetary values for anything in the app, like actual purchases, we limit ourselves. And I don't know. This is fun. I feel really good now. I feel like me personally, I know the message to send here with this Kickstarter, and if it's successful and makes $1 million, we know the path to take real fast. So cool. Yeah. All right. That's all she wrote for me. I recorded this, by the way. This is a critical team conversation that we're going to upload so people can see what's really happening. Well, this is going to be uncut, Pearson. So, yeah. Thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. We should probably, we talk weekly, but this is good to keep me motivated. So, okay. All right. Thanks. See ya.
Cool.
All right, later.